Hey folks, welcome back to Game Geeks. I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel. Today's episode, Outbreak, Undead, a zombie survival role-playing game. What you got here is, it is pretty much what it says on the tin. This is it's a zombie role-playing game where you don't play the zombies, you play the survivors of the zombie outbreak. So, one of the cool things about this game is the company on their website actually has a generator for yourself. So what you do is it's called the SPEW AI. I know, funny name, right? SPEW stands for Strength, Perception, Empathy, and Willpower, which are the 4 core stats of the game. What you do is you go on there and you answer a bunch of questions, kind of like the Myers-Briggs personality profile. It's like, how do you feel about this situation? You've got 4 or 5 responses. And as you answer them, they hone in on what you are. And then by the end of it, it only takes a few minutes to do. You get your based on what you answered. Now, could you bias the Cosmo quiz? Yeah, I suppose you really could if you wanted to. But what's the fun in doing that if you just think you're going to get munched by a zombie anyway? By the end of it, what it does is it gives you, based on your answers, your strength, your perception, your empathy, and your willpower. And just in case you're wondering, yes, I went on there, and yes, I did it. And answering the questions as honestly as I pretty much could, I came up with a strength of 17, a perception of 25, an empathy of 35, and a willpower of 31. Which is above average for the empathy and the willpower, but the strength and the perception are kind of right there on human average, which basically means I'm just chubby zombie bait. Sorry, it's true, but which is probably because exactly what would happen in real life too. Poor fat bastard. Anyway, so what do you get in Outbreak Undead? Well, what you get in this is a fairly simple, easy to use, percentile-based system based off of the 4 core attributes, like I mentioned a couple times now, and specific applications, for example, that go along with, say, your occupation. For example, if you're a police officer, you get like a 20 or 25% bonus to your empathy to try to convince people to do something, like a diplomacy, like step away from the half-eaten corpse. Please step away. Stuff like that. Beyond that, what it does is it also gives you kind of a cool little way of determining when you do a headshot or the kill shot on all of the zombies. And after that, it really goes into this interesting way of how to design all these different types of undead and how to also sort of build your encounters with the zombies for the GM side of it. How to build the encounters, what the zombies are doing in this world, the fact that that they can hear you now and they're more likely to come after you for rapid gunfire than the sound of a crossbow bolt. For those of you who are watching AMC's Walking Dead, that one was for you. So anyway, all in all, what you get from this is a really interesting, different take on a zombie survival game. I have to be very honest with you. This bears comparison to All Flesh Must Be Eaten, which was, I think, the very first Game Geeks episode we ever did. So go back and watch it. Go back to Game Geeks Classic. It's still there on YouTube. Go take a look. You'll see what I mean. It bears comparison simply because they're 2 games in the exact same genre. What's different between the 2? Well, All Flesh uses Unisystem, which is the D10 plus attribute plus skill on a chart. This is a more straight percentile system. As of this moment, there are more supplement or modification books for All Flesh than there are for Outbreak Undead, but it's also been around a heck of a lot longer. What this mainly offers you is a different take. If you like percentile systems, if you want a system that really lets you build yourself to some degree of honesty, depends on how well you answer the questions, and then have your GM go and, all right, zombies are rising in your town. What do you do? And you're like me and your first response is, then this is probably a really good game for you. So again, this is Outbreak Undead. They have the SPEW AI character generator on the website. Please go take a look at that and have fun. It's a fun game that I think you're really going to enjoy. For Game Geeks, I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel. Good day and good gaming.